This is Alton, a small town in the east of Hampshire, and also my hometown. I've lived here for the past 17 years, and in that time I've seen Alton change, grow and evolve. It's a town full of history, surrounded by beautiful countryside and known for its quiet charm. But as much as I love it here, there's something that's always stood out to me. There isn't actually much to do. Chapter 1. What does Alton already offer for entertainment? Now, don't get me wrong, Alton does have some entertainment already, but when you look around you start to realise that while there are things to do, there isn't a huge variety. So let's look at what there actually is here. Every Tuesday, the High Street becomes home to the farmers market, running from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. It's one of the few regular events that bring people together, offering fresh local produce, baked goods and handmade items. For many, it's more than just shopping. It's a weekly social event that brings some life to the town centre. Aside from the market, most of Alton's entertainment revolves around food and outdoor spaces. There are several fast food restaurants and cafes scattered along the high street, giving residents somewhere to meet with friends and grab a quick bite. It's simple, familiar entertainment, but for a lot of people, that's enough. For those who prefer to get outdoors, Alton has its fair share of green spaces. Town Park and Anstey Park are the two main areas where people go to play, walk their dogs, or take part in local sports. On a sunny day, these parks are full of families, children and dog walkers, showing that people do still make the most of what's available. The sports centre is another popular spot, offering fitness classes, swimming and local sports clubs. It's one of the few places in Alton where people of all ages can come together and do something active and social. But Alton is perhaps best known for its historical attractions. The town prides itself on heritage with places like Jane Austen's House Museum and the Curtis Museum, drawing visitors from outside the area. These sites remind people that Alton has deep historical roots and that its sense of identity comes as much from its past as its present. Yet, as charming and traditional as these attractions are, they also raise a question. Is history enough to keep a town entertained today? Chapter 2. What did Alton have for entertainment? While Alton might not have a huge range of entertainment today, it hadn't always been that way. In the past, there were more options, and one in particular that stands out in people's memories, the Palace Cinema. The Palace Cinema used to be one of the main sources of entertainment for local people. It was somewhere you could go out in the evenings, meet friends and enjoy a film without having to travel to another town. For many residents, it was a big part of Alton's community life. However, things changed in the year of 2022 when the cinema closed after the owner tried to sell the freehold for around £850,000, but unfortunately, no buyer was found. Eventually, the owner decided he no longer wanted to run it, likely because it was becoming less profitable as fewer people were going. It's possible that people began to take the cinema for granted. With streaming services and bigger cinemas in nearby towns, attendance may have dropped, making it harder to keep the business running. But when it finally closed, a lot of people realised how much they missed it. There was even a campaign to bring back the cinema, which showed just how important it had been to the local community. The closure of the Palace Cinema didn't just mean a loss of a place to watch films, it also meant the loss of a shared space, somewhere where people could come together and enjoy a night out in their own town. It represented a change in how people spend their free time and how small towns like Alton have always struggled to compete with larger entertainment hubs nearby. Chapter 3. What do the people of Alton think about entertainment? Alton is home to around 18,000 people, and what's interesting is that about 21% of them are aged between 0 and 19. That's quite a large percentage of the population made up of children and young people, and it makes me wonder, what do they actually do here for fun?
I mean, it's alright living here. It's a bit empty, there's not much to do, but I do enjoy living here. It's nice not having lots of people around.
Mostly just going to cafes or restaurants out to eat, really.
Not really. I mean, there's a few shops, a lot of pizza places, a lot of hairdressers. There used to be a cinema, but it was shut down a while ago, so there's not much to do anymore.
Bowling or arcades or the cinema, I think that often will benefit from having those kind of entertainments.
They could open a new cinema, maybe have a bowling alley, something else like that.
The question is, does Alton really need more entertainment, or are people content with what's already here? Maybe it depends on who you ask. Older residents might value the peace and slower pace of life, while younger generations are probably looking for something a bit more modern and exciting to do. Chapter 4. What new entertainment is there in Alton? In recent years, Alton has started to see a few new forms of entertainment appearing, small signs that the town might be changing and adapting to modern tastes. One example of this is the Immersion Escape Rooms, a relatively new escape room business that offers something a bit different for both locals and visitors. Now, let's talk to the owner of the escape room and hear what he has to say about entertainment in Alton.
What do you personally think of the entertainment options in Alton at the moment?
There's some good entertainment, but mostly for adults, not much really for kids.
Did you feel there was a gap in entertainment here before you opened?
Yeah, there's definitely a gap in entertainment in Alton, especially since the cinema shut down. And unless you're into museums and things like that, there's not much for the youngers to do, whereas this kind of fills that gap and hopefully will continue to do so.
What kind of feedback do you get from customers about having something like this in Alton?
Most of our customers, from what I can tell, seem very happy. A lot of the feedback we get on Google says it's great that we've got one of these in Alton.
Chapter 5. Reflection. New businesses, like the escape room, raise an important question. What does new entertainment bring to a town like Alton? It can create jobs, attract tourism, and give residents more options for leisure. But at the same time, it also challenges Alton's traditional image as a quiet, historic town. Some people might see that as positive progress, while others might prefer to keep things the way they are. Whether this is the start of something bigger or just a small step towards change, it's clear that new entertainment can breathe fresh life into a town like Alton. It gives people more choice and, perhaps, a reason to stay a little closer to home.